Yo, good morning. Happy Friday. Beautiful day outside. Looks like I might have a busier day today. At least later in the day. So have some time now. So why not take care of it? So let's get into it. Henry Ford wiped poverty, literacy, and ignorance by aligning himself with great minds whose vibrations of thought he absorbed into his own mind. Through his association with Edison, Burbank, Burroughs, and Firestone, Mr. Ford added to his own brain power the sum and substance of the intelligence, experience, knowledge, and spiritual forces of these four men. Moreover, he appropriated and made use of the mastermind principle through the methods described in this book. This principle is available to you. President Franklin Roosevelt brought the best minds of the country to Washington to form a mastermind group he called his Brain Trust. During and after World War II, mastermind groups called think tanks were frequently called upon by leaders of government and industry to help deal with critical problems. We have already mentioned Gandhi. Perhaps the majority of those who have heard of Gandhi look upon him as merely an eccentric little man who went around without formal clothes and made trouble for the British government. And literally, Gandhi was not eccentric, but he was the most powerful man of his generation, estimated by the number of his followers and their faith to their leader. Moreover, he was probably the most powerful man who ever lived. His power was passive, but it was real. Let us study the method by which he attained his stupendous power. It may be explained in a few words. He came by power through inducing over 200 million people to coordinate with mind and body in a spirit of harmony for a defined purpose. In brief, Gandhi accomplished a miracle, for it is a miracle when 200 million people can be induced, not forced, to cooperate in a spirit of harmony for a limitless time. If you doubt that that is a miracle, try to induce any two people to cooperate in a spirit of harmony for any length of time. Every person who manages a business knows what a difficult matter it is to get employees to work together in a spirit even remotely resembling harmony. The list of the chief sources from which power may be attained is, as you have seen, headed by infinite intelligence. When two or more people coordinate in a spirit of harmony and work toward a defined objective, they place themselves in position through that alliance to absorb power directly from the great universal storehouse of infinite intelligence. This is the greatest of all sources of power. It is the source to which the genius turns. It is the source to which every great leader turns, whether conscious of the fact or not. The other two major sources from which the knowledge necessary for the accumulation of power may be obtained are no more reliable than our five senses. The senses are not always reliable. Infinite intelligence does not err. In subsequent chapters, the methods by which infinite intelligence may be most readily contacted will be adequately described. This is not a course of religion. No fundamental principles described in this book should be interpreted as being intended to interfere either directly or indirectly with anyone's religious habits. This book has been confined exclusively to instructing the reader how to transmute the defiant purpose of desire for money into its monetarily equivalent. Read, think, and meditate as you read. Soon the entire subject will unfold and you will see it in perspective. You are now seeing the detail of the individual chapters. Money is shy and elusive. It may be wooed and won by methods not unlike those used by a determined lover in pursuit of a mate. And coincidental as it is, the power used in the wooing of money is not greatly different from that used in wooing a lover. That power, when successfully used in the pursuit of money, must be mixed with faith. It must be mixed with desire. It must be mixed with persistence. It must be applied through a plan, and that plan must be set into action. Some of the best sources of creating your own mastermind group are your employees. Andrew Grove, the extremely successful CEO of Intel Corporation, did this. Groove works with a team of technical, marketing, financial, and administrative men and women in an informal environment. There are no private offices, special parking spaces, or other privileges for executives. Employees have a generous stock option plan so they can share in the gains of the company if the company makes money and the stock rises. Although the team may appear casual, they follow Groove's lead of being very demanding on themselves. When Intel faces a crisis in 1976, the team willingly put in extra effort, more work hours, and did everything was necessary to solve the problems. On another occasion, it was discovered that the Intel Pentium chip had a minor defect that would affect only an insignificant number of operations. Groove's decision to replace the chips at a cost of $475 million rather than delivering a product that was not perfect was fully endorsed by his colleagues. Groove encourages his people to work in small, autonomous work units in which everyone understands the system and the role in it. Each person contributes their knowledge, expertise, and creativity. Team members are trained and motivated to produce to the best of their capacity. When crises arise, the team willingly puts in the extra time, energy, and brain power to meet and beat the problems faced. When money comes in all quantities known as the big money, it flows to the one who accumulates it as easily as water flows downhill. There exists a great unseen stream of power which may be compared to a river, except that it flows in two directions. One side carries all who get into that side of the stream onwards and upwards to health, and the other side flows in the opposite direction, carrying all who unfortunate enough to get into and are not able to extricate themselves from it, downwards to misery and poverty. Every person who has accumulated a great fortune has recognized the existence of this stream of life. It consists of one's thinking process. The positive emotions of thought form the side of the stream that carries one to fortune. The negative emotions form the side that carries one down to poverty. This carries a thought of stupendous importance to the person who is following this book with the object of accumulating a fortune. If you are in the side of the stream of power that leads to poverty, this may serve as an aura by which you may propel yourself over into the other side of the stream. It can serve you only through application and use. Merely reading and passing judgment on it, either one way or another, will in no way benefit you. Some people undergo the experience of altering between the positive and negative sides of the stream, being at times on the positive side and times at the negative side. The Wall Street crash of 29 swept millions of people from the positive to the negative side of the stream. Those millions struggled, some of them in desperation and fear, to get back to the positive side of the stream. This book was written especially for those millions. Poverty and riches often change places. Poverty may, and generally does, voluntarily take place of the riches. When riches take the place of poverty, the change is usually brought about through well-conceived and carefully executed plans. Poverty needs no plans. It needs no one to aid it, but it is bold and ruthless. Riches are shy and timid. They have to be attracted. Nobody can wish for riches, and most people do, but only a few know that a defiant plan plus a burning desire for wealth are the only dependable means of accumulating it. Ross Perot's attitude exemplifies the power of tough-minded commitment, not only his own but also that of the mastermind with which he surrounded himself. He had a burning desire for wealth, and he achieved it. Before he started Electronic Data Systems, EDS, he had been the top salesperson at IBM. He was cautious that leaving IBM to start a company from scratch was a mistake. This did not faze Perot. He was inspired by a vision of what could be. His success clearly demonstrates that by sticking to your dream and transmitting that dream into a team of experts, a mastermind who have the know-how to help it make it a realization leads to success and wealth. Perot family firmly believes that commitment can accomplish miracles. This was exemplified when EDS committed for one of the largest contracts in the computer industry. Two companies, IBM and EDS, were the contestants. IBM was far richer and had in their staff a more experienced and knowledgeable group of specialists. EDS had a small but dedicated team. Peretz recalls about 30 days into the competition, I walked into the room and our 15 guys were saying, gee, we probably can't win, but it will be great experience. I didn't jump up and down and chew people out. I just walked to the blackboard and wrote down the entire criteria by which we would be judged. And a nice low voice said, we are going to beat them 7-0. That's the day we won. Parrott commented that the rises, the bonuses, the stock options, and the thousands of new jobs created by winning this project were, of course, the tangible rewards of achieving this COP. However, he believes that more important was the immense satisfaction of knowing that by their hard work and creativity, they beat the best in the world. That's what makes a company great, a team working together as a mastermind to beat the opposition. I really like this last little paragraph due to the fact that, when you're trying to achieve something or especially in a work environment or sales environment, knowing that, what I'm striving for is the bonus or the promotion or the title, ends up not being so, it can be very, satisfying, but it's short-term thinking. But something that was added here that I think is a lot more satisfying to oneself, but also an organization, is that, hey, we are all working together. Each of us are contributing to this one goal of competing against others. It's like a team, right? It's like a sport. You work with a team and you try to beat the next person or the next best team, whatever the case may be. And knowing that if you do, beat that team, it's a very satisfying win, and I think that's what's being mentioned here. But apart from that, I think the power of the mind, a mastermind, is a good chapter that I appreciate. I didn't mention, but the chapter's done. But the idea that you get to gain more power within yourself, but also as an organization when you surround yourself with other individuals who are like-minded, or better yet, who are more intelligent than you, who are more skilled in a specific thing that you are not. That in the end, it leads to a better organization or a more successful organization, but better yet, a more successful individual who surrounds himself with those kind of people. So yeah, chapter 10, that is done. We're moving on to chapter 11. It's Friday. Enjoy the day. If you're in Seattle, enjoy the sun while it's here. I think it's going to be here for the rest of the week. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow.